Your entire intelligence and your thought process is gentrifying into the pit of Obama. It's going to be just a sour, disgusting background of rampant spending, little or no regard for the American people and jobs, and in the final minute of his presidency, we'll go like, oh yeah, that was another 8 years wasted time. What next? So thanks, guys, for not asking any questions of your president and standing there like mindless zombies, Obama tards, and just nodding your head and say, what's your next pearl of wisdom, Mr. Obama? Yeah, well, we've got to deal with the CIA funding ISIS before we stop ISIS. All right, so how will you run the country if you want to pay attention to everything? Video games are just part of our warm-up practice, so don't rake me over the coals for doing what every American in this country is probably doing, playing a few Xbox 360 games. Come on. I watch all of his press conferences in edited fashion. People cut them up and send them to me. All the lies he's said over the years. We've caught almost everything he said in retrospect, so we can put it all together in a video and look at it and say, oh yeah, promised us no mandatory health insurance, gave us mandatory health insurance. Promised us discussions about health care on C-SPAN, didn't allow anyone to discuss it. Said it wasn't going to be a tax. It is a tax. I mean, lies like his father was in World War II. His father never was in World War II. I mean, there's so many lies. I don't even go into detail. Claiming Chris Stevens' death was a bump in the road. That's just upsetting. Trading Bergdahl, a known deserter, for 5 terrorists. All right, today is Technology Thursday, and as you can see, we've got some amazing new technology, Sarah, coming on board. A personal transport vehicle that can fly. Yeah, why everyone may have a personal air vehicle. Well, if it's not Thursday, you're in a different world. Pamela, what country are you in? We're in America. Obama is not much better than Bush or Bush Jr. Obama is essentially cut out of the same cloth as the Bush family. I mean, even Obama bent down and kissed the ring finger of King Abdullah, the friend of the Bushes. Yes, I'm looking at the executive order, but it doesn't surprise me that he's writing one executive order after another to weaken our country. I mean, you guys have been sitting around on your butt, not getting us on the ballot for the past 6 years, and you're blaming me? I'm the messenger. I'm the one who told you that Barack Obama was a liar many, many years ago. A long, long time ago, I remember when this country was free, but now we have to see.
We don't think that Bush Jr. was better.
No, Bush Jr. was bad. They were all bad. But a lot of you Democrats and Republicans who still think along the two-party line still believe that these two parties are going to somehow fabricate an honest politician. So somehow they're going to come up with a great new idea. It's not going to happen. No, I ran as a Democrat only to see if it would work, and obviously it didn't. They're the most corrupt party out there. Yeah, I drive a battery car for a good reason. I get 60 miles per gallon. What's wrong with you? I know, well, that's what I was talking about, that Belfast riot squad. A lot of Klan members have run as Southern Democrats. That's why I wanted to expose the racism in the Democratic Party. And here they are the ones calling me the racist, a man who simply did a parody of Barack Obama. I mean, how ironic is that? Pot calling the kettle marijuana? The pot calling the kettle cannabis? All right. We're not seeing your request right now, 827. I don't need, no, it's not 800 pounds of batteries. It's like 75 pounds of batteries, you idiot. Do the research. I'm getting a super charged battery pack for my Honda Insight as well. I'm upgrading to a brand new battery pack. It's been almost 120,000 miles beyond my expected battery life. And I finally decided to just get more boost. I know you never did, 827. Get your own name, people will respect you for it. I am getting my own name. Yeah, it's called David John Sponheim. David, is this you giving a speech at the Colorado University? You know, I was in Colorado. Oh, come on. Don't play that crap here. We have a zero tolerance for racism. Yeah, there you go. David Duke, good example. Well, many Jewish people in our area destroyed my campaign, but I'm not a racist like David Duke. Well, number one, bounty hunter, I don't have the time. I'm too busy working on designs that will save the human race from imminent demise. There are some people that actually work constantly, and I'm one of them. And if I had time to go on Bish's show, I would, and talk about heroin addiction or cheap sex and threesomes. But I don't think it really benefits me doing that.
We can talk about some politics. There was,
Sure.
while you're talking about that, there's a California legislature that's voting on a law that yes means yes. And so basically, if there are two, there needs to be it requires an affirmative, unambiguous, and conscious decision by each party to engage in sexual activity. And this would apply to colleges and universities in California.
So if a person says, don't, stop, what does that mean?
That means...
Don't stop.
That doesn't mean yes.
How do you know it? Don't stop means, yeah, keep doing it, right?
No.
Don't stop. Don't stop. That means keep doing it.
No.
Okay, well, we better get very clear. Let's be clear. Yes is yes, and no is no. So when Barack Obama turns to Michelle, and says, Michelle, what do you say we get it on? No, yes, no, yes, yes, no. That's
Silence,
ambiguous.
It means that silence or a lack of resistance does not imply a green light for sex.
Hello, Algier.
Drunkenness is not an acceptable defense.
Okay, well, I think now that we're obfuscating all the clear divisions on what sexual assault is, we can go down to the, well, did it feel like sex? Well, then it's clearly rape. I mean, seriously, I mean, we got a lot of problems. The last thing we need is more laws defining ambiguous definitions of what yes is and no is. Yes is yes and no is no. David, what are your thoughts on Obama had to say about the Russians and Ukraine? Guess 181, again, I don't track Obama's press conferences. I consider them all lies. Obama is trying to create a problem with Vladimir Putin and has done so for some time, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's continuing that pathway. His egomaniacal decision to call Vladimir Putin a jackass leads me to assume that everything he says from there on in is probably just a lie or some manifestation of the World Bank's decision to move in on the Ukraine and take it over. Well, thank you. I'll be doing a lot of impressions coming up on October 31st. That's the day that I'm going to impersonate Barack Obama again in blackface. Dave, why did they destroy your campaign? I don't know if it was Jewish people, but I do know that we had our competitors take most of our signs. No, I'm not seeing that request, Topper Dan, because frankly, you're not really welcome here anymore. You violated our happy moment, our feel-good feeling. Found adult admits less than 27% of donations are actually going to fund research and cures. Thank you, Blue Medic Beta. I'm not doing an ice bucket challenge, no. I'm thinking of doing a lukewarm water bucket challenge, if anyone would like to do that. Dangerous levels of fluoride are coming into the water in Maine. A new study out of Maine suggests that residents across the New England state are regularly subjected to drinking water containing double the amount of fluoride considered to be dangerous by federal standards, federal guidelines. Thank you. That's a great one. Okay, that's a worthwhile link. I'm going to post that, I think, on Twitter tonight, Sarah. Maine, of all places. I was wondering why, when I was in Maine a couple years ago, we took a trip out there. Everyone seemed so brain dead. I don't know. We walked into a market, and the lady was very, very pleasant to the person in front of me. who was also a Maynard, says, "Oh, how you doing, Mr. Johnson? Sure thing, y'all. Really good day there. Oh, the weather's good here, yeah. Sure thing." And then when we walk up into the line, it's like, "What do you want? What can I get you? Clearly, you're a bunch of flatlander tree huggers from some other state coming into our country, our place where we have plenty of fluoridated water here. Good evening. Don't know how much about the Maine, but it's basically a Republican state. It's actually an independent state, and Maine is hurting.
Actually independent, yeah.
Maine is hurting.
There's one during Ralph Nader, wasn't
an independent?
Or no, Ross Perot was the only
Kentucky,
state that actually won the electoral vote.
Oh, Ross Perot won Maine.
Won the general
in '92.
In Maine.
Very interesting. Well, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. If you're a potential voter, don't come into this room thinking I'm going to glad hand you like Barack Obama and tell you what you want to hear.
During the summer, Blue Medic, that's true.
I think in the summer there's a lot more Subaru driving liberals driving a little Outback with their colostomy bag hanging behind them.
Connecticut and all that.
We're right in the center, Majid. We're a centrist party. Yeah, when I see a liberal driving an Outback with their little colostomy bag hanging behind them, I know for a fact that they voted for Obama. Bahaba. That's right. A great speech today, Al Jolson? Nothing. No. I don't think anything Obama's going to say from here on in is going to sound anything more than like a lame duck. If it sounds like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a lame duck president. We don't think the liberals are giving our country a fair shake. They won't even engage anybody in a dialogue on the right. And they basically ignored all the concerns over business related to Obamacare and how business would disappear. Well, I'm sure Obama knows ISIS will be around still after he leaves office because Obama has nothing to do with foreign policy. Obama is just a hollow puppet of a man who reads off a teleprompter and gets a paycheck sent to his Cayman Island account beyond his salary. I do think he's the worst president ever. I think George W. Bush is a close second. And then Herbert Hoover is perhaps the third. I'm not a day trader, no, Al Jolson. I don't believe in investments at all. Even though the stock market seems to be a good place to put your money, I'm a little concerned about, you know, the idea of profiting on other people's suffering. Yeah, Barack, we have no strategy, Obama. Exactly. Thank you, Guest 803. Yeah, I'm sure ISIS was created by the CIA, and I have their website. If you want to go to their ISIS website, we can bring it to you. Sarah, you can talk to the chat room. I'll get the website.
Okay, that sounds good. What is our position for West Sahara in North? Oh, the West Sahara in North Africa? I think that they need water. Majid. I think more water in the Sahara would help them.
If you want to go to the government's ISIS website, they have it right here for you. Just go there, and you'll see this entire approach that they're doing. When ISIS was first installed in the region to destabilize the government of Iraq after we created the government of Iraq, they put together a lot of plans, and one of them backfired. One of those plans was to activate the Sunni forces and end up creating a logical, probable conflict. And it turned into a bigger conflict than they had anticipated. So I think the first thing Obama could do would be to resign and admit he has no control over anything. Yeah. I'm advocating surgical strikes. I was doing it two months ago, but now I don't want any civilian casualties because obviously he's waited too long. So Obama can't make a decision quickly. He has to have all of his handlers filter the decision, and then all of a sudden they come out with their final determination, and then it's too late, too little, too late. The Obama administration, too little, too late. Be a good little hit song.
Why was he fighting for ISIS, though, Alpha Dog?
Yeah, they're on vacation. Okay, Rodney. First of all, I like your attire. It really looks nice. This particular shirt is.
It's just a white
I think
shirt.
it's very becoming. It looks highly professional. I can't imagine anything nicer on the show like ours. At least it's not dirty. That's a good thing. Core, please. How do you people think you're going to run for president if you won't even keep up with world news, and if you play video games instead, you're an insult to Americans?
Keeping up with the world news.
We're tracking the world news.
I don't think it matters that Obama wore a khaki suit to his press conference.
You got transplants? ISIS equals ISIS, Nazi. No, ISIS is a separate entity, you're right, but they take orders from the CIA. Rodney, are you still promoting the gaming show? Rodney, I'm going to purge you from the show because you're using our venue to promote nonsense. We have a gaming show for an hour and a half. We like to game. Is there something wrong with that? I don't like to watch Barack Obama speak because I get vomitous and start to have projectile vomiting, and I wouldn't want to do that on my touch screen. I'll be the next president, guess 166? Yes, that's my prediction. We're tracking a tremendous amount of information. I can't tell you how many different stories we filter every day, and to stand there and take this criticism is absolutely ridiculous. No, we're not going to unban you, Topper Dan, because you insulted the party and you made lascivious comments about Sarah. Well, as soon as the CIA stops backing ISIS, then we can get some sense of order in Iraq. Sarah is good at gaming. Sarah was the one that got me into gaming. She bought me an Xbox 360 last Christmas, and no, 5312, I'm going to ban you again because you're not focusing on the issues. You're just slamming us for not watching a pathetic, vomitous press conference with a guy who reads off a teleprompter to pre-screened questions. When I'm president, I won't have any questions pre-screened, and I won't read off a teleprompter in my press conferences. Al Jolson has my victory parade. No, that's a Nazi thing, Al. Al, I'm going to ask you to not post Nazi propaganda. Lascivious. Look it up. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I can get rid of that other person.
This person too?
Yeah, might as well.
Ban, yeah. The issue is, no, Big Z, that's not really an important issue. Sarah's going to get into her nice, comfortable attire, and she is, in her t-shirt. Okay. I've been gaming since the 1990s, and most recently I got back into it. I was away from gaming for about 10 years.
We use a console, Alpha Dog.
Yes, Russia will invade Ukraine because they can. No, I spelled because wrong. Sorry. Yes, Russia will invade Ukraine because they can. I told you from the very beginning that we needed to have a strong position on Ukraine, and we didn't have a strong position. We don't even have any troops aligned at the border. Ukraine is weak, and Russia is ready to pounce. I wouldn't doubt they're pouncing right now. It's an open vacuum that Barack Obama created when he pushed for the EU's control over Ukraine. And then the buyout offer of $35 billion for their economic relief program ended up amounting to $17 billion, which was only a couple billion more than Russia offered. So in the end, I'm sure ISIS has many Chechen rebels, and I'm sure many of them are probably paid mercenaries for the CIA, just like the Tsarnaev brothers probably were, working with the FBI. That's what Dzhokhar Tsarnaev says. He denies being involved in the Boston Marathon attack. He has pled not guilty to 32 charges of terrorism. So what makes you think that guy was working with anyone but the FBI? His mother said that Dzhokhar and his brother were in touch with the FBI 4 years prior. So if anyone's working with the FBI, it was the Tsarnaev brothers. Okay? All right, moving on. Well, the road to trade with Iran is very simple. All you have to do is offer them more money than they're worth, and they'll They'll trade with you. Obama tried to bribe them with $7 billion and asked nothing in return. Consequently, we're $7 billion poorer, and we still don't know where the nuclear enrichment of the uranium is in Iran. No, I would never do that. I heard there was a video game created to kill JFK, and it looked like a CIA-created game because the person who created it abandoned the game and put it on the internet for a free upload. It was weird. I traced this game about how to assassinate a president, JFK. It was the whole Bailey Plaza reenactment. And I noticed that the guy who created the video game never actually was seen, meaning he could have been a CIA plant, and then he disappeared. And then now the game is still uploadable. I haven't played World War II. We have Battlefield 3 we have yet to play. That's the only harbor in the whole area. I will not be playing video games in the Oval Office. No. My video games days are probably real limited in number. I care about what's happening. I do. It makes me look like Obama? That's ridiculous. I'm tracking the news constantly. Just because I played an hour and a half predictable game that we have a regular show right before our regular show here doesn't mean I don't watch the news. I don't catch Barack Obama speaking because he makes me sick. I get nauseous when I watch him. And you people that still watch him and believe him, you make me more nauseous, just knowing that you're that stupid, that idiotic to actually believe his lies. I might be the only person who can prevent World War III. It's true. So let's listen to Dave for a second and try to figure out where I'm coming from. I'm a nonviolent activist. I believe in a strong military defense to ward off attacks. I also believe in a strategic defense initiative and shared technological defense information. That means if you've got a weapons defense system, I'd like to share that knowledge. Similarly, I'd like to share the knowledge of my weapons defense system with you. We just bought a $225 million rocket defense missile system for Israel, courtesy of the American taxpayer. Well, I'm sure he was killed for a lot of reasons. Okay, I'm going to set up a slideshow here today, image show. You can come back into the room here.
Oh, I think
you need to drop that chair down. It's a little high.
Drop it.
Well, no. Okay, Sarah's going to come back. Thank you. I know. Hey, would you have Obama? No. That's a terrible thing, and I'm going to purge you. And do not ever say that again in this room, Core 2. Don't ever threaten the president. I don't think Jesuits are good guys. No. They're the military arm of the Vatican. The current Pope was the former leader of the military arm of the Vatican. He was the former leader of the Jesuits, Pope Francis. His relationship in Argentina is well documented. And we all know about the rat lines the Vatican used to carry Nazis into Argentina and Brazil. So let's not go there. Yeah, Core 2, I'm going to ban you if you say anything else. Okay, you've been banned. Thanks, Sunstar. Why do Democrats want to change the Constitution? Do they work for the banks? Guest 5312. The Democrats are unwitting dupes. They're kind of like the stormtroopers that Hitler used during his rise to power. That's the kind of thing the Democrats are. The stormtroopers, or the SA, were the ones that did all the dirty work, like steal signs of competitors in elections, like the Democrats, Republicans did in my previous election. Those kind of people are out there. They're thugs. They don't even know what they're doing. They just mindlessly support their party because they want power. Well, I gave him a chance, but guest 827, Core has always been very, very against what we're trying to do here. He's a hardcore Obama-tard. Yeah, well, Democrats want to spend your tax dollars to create more programs and bigger government. Thank you, guest 784. You get it. 84 says, I love the blackface video. It supports the First Amendment. Gosh, finally. Thank you. More people are going to get it soon, and will realize that I'm trying to save our nation, and I've been trying since 2008 when I made that video. The SS and the SA and the SSA. The sweaty, smelly ass. Obama wanted to create his own SA. That's right. It was brilliant. Dave, remember the vote count in the Broward County, Florida, and the Republican thugs broke into the vote count? Oh, yeah, I remember that's typical two-party thuggery, what happened to Gore and the hanging Chad. USA is already done, but they still think anyone cares about... well, I don't think the USA is already done. We have the largest military in the world. What do you mean we're done? We have such a strong military, we could probably erase our debt and threaten every country that wants to collect. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Oh, come on. We're not going to have a problem in the future. You know, people like Paul Volcker, the former chairman of the Federal Reserve under Jimmy Carter, he actually said that we have enough money till 2031 not to worry about the Social Security Trust Fund, that we've got plenty of money till 2031. I don't know, Big Zed. My testosterone level drops and rises, ebbs and flows, so it changes my view. Well, I didn't like Gore either. I felt like he was going to put our entire country into a lockbox. And then he divorced Tipper. I thought that was terrible. A wife, such long-standing, and he probably tried to put her in a lockbox, too. Landing a federal contract in a company-owned stocks, or not me, yeah, Gore did. In fact, Gore basically had stock in Occidental Petroleum and then went ahead and authorized an oil pipeline and a drilling operation in South Dakota, which gave him twice the value of his Occidental stock. So he was totally about profiting from oil. You are weak and lost Afghanistan and Iraq already. Yes, 3343, that is incorrect. If we were to carpet bomb those two countries with our tremendous firepower from the air, we would obviously win, and we would end up killing innocent people, though. We haven't lost anything. No, you guys you're so off base when it comes to what we're doing. We have a general presence in the Middle East that gives us greater... Wow, somebody actually did a song. This is a first, everybody. Online, I'm sure you did, yeah. A lot of people are going to make songs about me. I'm a living legend. So you're going to get a lot of nimrods and whack jobs and freaks of nature do that just because they want to ride our coattails. Yeah. Well, I disagree about the boots on the ground, but we don't need to go back with boots on the ground. We've got things called F-22 fighter pilots. That's right. We haven't even used an F-22 in any of our engagements. Basically, this is the Afghan army. A highly trained group of hashish smokers. Now, we are trying to train people to defend a country, and all they want to do is smoke hash. We have the ability to do some serious... I don't know what you're saying. And stop using the F word. This guy is so jealous of me. I can't get over him. I know. Well, they're doing what many people end up doing, nothing. When you give them power, what do? They abuse it. So we have to use intelligence here to create a defense shield around this incredible nation of Iraq that would guarantee their survival. So let me implement a few technologies that will guarantee their survival. We're going to take up Big Dog and set him on the border around all my weapons-free safe zones. All right, Big Dog is going to be standing at guard, making sure nobody gets through. All these weapons-free safe zones that I'm going to be helping the Iraqi army to create will be using state-of-the-art machine gun fire, like this.
Topping off a week of robotic demonstrations. commercial companies too.
So you're not going to worry about going into a weapons-free safe zone when you've got these automated unmanned vehicles shooting rapidly at you. And you've got Big Dog and big, all these different creatures walking around guarding the border. The Iraqi army isn't hopeless. Most of them can be replaced by robots. And then we need to make access to the oil wells available. We can have an all unmanned standing army. I don't lie in a fantasy world. You're claiming I live in one. That's just not true. God bless America. The future is robots. You are correct, sir. Someone accused me the other night of being a robotic presidential candidate. How absurd is that? After all, most of my expressions are pre-programmed and delivered with concise, human-like expression. I was not at the Ferguson, Missouri protests. You're watching things that are scary. Here's a big boy clip. Oh, come on. Not another one of these. Well, I'm trying not to scare you, but you're going to be dealing with things like this. The question is, do you want control over your democracy, or do you want the Democrats to run your nation like a totalitarian group of thugs? We will develop the Iraqinator robots of the future that will be able to defend humans in safe zones, prepared for human survival. All right, man, I'll turn it off. I don't want to freak all you out. Would you rather see a bunch of Afghan soldiers do the Haji jump? Okay, you asked for it. You asked for it, you got it. So you can see that it's kind of a waste to spend a lot of money on war, especially in that region, training soldiers. So all of Obama's plans were a waste of your money, your tax dollars. And so were George Bush's too. Yeah, the situation is unfortunately never going to get better unless we start making it better. I know they can't, they're all high on hashish, man, I'm telling you. No, the same videos are not being played day after day. The 25-year-old razor has not been brought out today. I don't have to talk to you about the dangers of buying old batteries. They actually work better than new ones. Audio's off. The past 3 seconds, you were watching our show without audio. If you could read lips, you would understand what we are currently saying. Please don't adjust your dial. This is a test of the America's third-party broadcasting network. This is simply a test. My sound was being intercepted by what appears to be proton beam technology developed by Iran. This is the same technology that hijacked the telemetry and navigation system of a UAV about 3 years ago. We have UAVs in our country. This is the X-47B, the Navy's unmanned aerial vehicle, which cost a whole hell of a lot more than it should have. We could develop these things ourselves in-house, but no, right now we're hooked up to the backbone of the contractor gravy train. I do not work? What do you mean? I work all the time. I just don't get paid for it. This is the very expensive UAV the Navy ordered just to say, we've got something special, instead of actually getting a better deal. They could have made this a Radio Shack for a lot less than they paid for it. Well, I don't believe that masturbation is work. That's relaxation. But work, what I do is develop things during the day that I think will help mankind survive the coming apocalypse. Are you one of those people that believes we're being swept into apocalyptic times by the moron Obama? Or maybe his handlers, the rich Bergstroms and Rothschilds of the world who own him, basically hook, line, and sinker. Or are you one of those people that doesn't believe in conspiracies because, gosh, you'd be a whack job if you did, but golly, these two parties don't really make a lot of sense, do they? Well, we appeal to all of you people. Drone is our new Air Force, yes. I support all robotic technologies, but I cannot possibly sit back and, you're out of here, buddy. You've said your last chat as guest 531. Less death, more tactical missions, G-Force less, yes. No, I didn't have any anger toward Jewish people. I was just talking about the people that control the world, the Rothschilds. PlayStation 3 is inferior to Xbox 360. Xbox 360 is only about 10% inferior to Xbox One. So your best bet is Xbox 360. I'm just gaming because I enjoy the virtual reality that affords us the opportunity to do stuff vicariously. It's fun. I am not a racist. Please stop saying that. Gosh, do I have to ban all of you for saying that? Please don't do that. I've never said a racist or a racial slur in my life. As a Jewish stripper in the Gaza Strip? No kidding. Wow. I would prefer a PlayStation 4 if I could afford it. I just can't. I won't ban you, Pamela. You've been a nice person. All right, good. So that's one of the many drone technologies we've got. But you know, our country is in dire need of renewable energy, green, clean technologies. And I've got a bunch of them here, all set up for you to look at tonight for your review. He has glaze in his eyes, really. Tell me more. What kind of glaze? Like glazed donuts in his eyes? You can do a lot of stuff with parabolic mirrors and things. Check this out. A marijuana glaze. Who, Al Jolson?
In a previous project, I found a free TV.
Oh, I don't get hot.
Turned it into a giant solar scorcher.
Check this out.
This shoots out a deadly beam of sunlight that's hot enough to abuse food, melt metal, and burn things you probably shouldn't. Today seemed like a good day to play with my solar scorcher. I positioned my frame and found the focal point, then added some concrete tiles as a base for my projects. Okay, I've got power, and I'll test it out with this piece of wood. And when the light makes contact, I've got instant fire. The sunlight at this spot is around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to melt this part of concrete.
Sorry for the inadvertent break in the video signal. That was the effect of evil on our society.
For tools to increase the warfighter's situational awareness.
Introducing the microchip, the mark of Satan. That's right. We are currently under attack from this evil, demonic plan. The New World Order plan to turn all of us into chipped, robotic androids. Yeah, you thought I was going to talk about technology tonight, right? Wrong. I'm talking about you being turned into a zombie. That's right. We'll be talking about gold in a little bit, but right now we're going to focus on RFID chipping of the human population. Many of you are concerned that this kind of chipping behavior could go on in your lifetime. Well, it really is a potential problem, and if you don't get a political party, hey, wow, you're in. It's honest, frank. If you don't get a political party to represent the American people, you folks are going to be screwed. Well, let's be clear. You picked Obama because you thought he was telling you the truth. Boy, were you fed a bunch of lies. Let me ask you, Honest Frank, did you actually vote for Barack Obama? You can tell me honestly. At least we get an honest answer out of Honest Frank. Did you vote for Barack Obama? Come on. Just admit it. Nobody wants to admit it anymore.
The science and horrible. I told
you no, I didn't vote for anybody.
Oh, you didn't vote for anybody. Well, when did you start to decide you were patriotic and start putting flags all around your apartment and freak all your neighbors out? When did this happen? I'm wondering when he did this. But when did you decide to become politically active? I mean, what happened in your life that changed you?
I started to.
Yeah.
I wanted them to vote no for the village, and I knew they were against freedom. So I was all about the American flag.
All right, the village. Well, you were voting for the village idiots or what? The village people? Let's take a look at Honest Frank here. You are wearing something underneath there, right? You're not like a nudist. You're not like one of these nudist people, are you? One of these weird nudist people.
Yeah.
You're not going to show me anything else but your upper torso, right? Okay. All right, Honest Frank is in the room. I'm bringing you technology from a secondary camera, so bear with me.
Beach Village where I live, they made it in
We're breaking up a little bit. Breaking up is hard to do. But when you have Honest Frank in the chat room, everything is beautiful. It just didn't go to hell. I'm bringing him into the show. Come on. We're getting a person to talk. Well, let's be clear. So you're taking a chance by having American flags around you. You realize the danger that you're putting yourself in by showing your patriotism? Show this video. Yeah. You realize how dangerous it is to be patriotic? You may be going on the Obama's list of people. Yeah. It's possible. Where's Sarah? Sarah is in the other room. Sarah will be coming in shortly. Have no fear, Sarah will be here soon. All right. Yeah, it's very horrible video. I'm having you dithered so that no one can identify you. Joan Rivers has been hospitalized. News at 11. We are currently encountering technical difficulties from Honest Frank. Let us hold for a second. There we go. Okay, now that's better. Yeah, they didn't want to face Dave at the general election for fear he might talk about real issues. Good point, Guest 827. Thank you for making a comeback statement like that. The quality is horrible on that video camera. I'm trying to correct it, but right now, unfortunately, I can't.
It is. What the hell?
Well, let me work on it. Hang on. Let me focus the entire effort on getting this camera to work. Yes, it is not appropriate quality. It is incorrect. Pop the equalizer. Oh, I don't know. Is that all you do is laugh on the show? Brightness levels down. I don't know why it's coming in this way.
What do you want me to do? The video's messed up. Look at that.
Well, one way I can fix the whole thing is just. Yeah, one way I can fix the whole thing is just pull your camera down. How's that? All right, well, that's Honest Frank. Topper Dan is also known as Guest 827. Is waiting to be unbanned after making that very accurate and supportive statement. Oh, really? Let me see what that statement was. Active denial system brings active denials. Military.com. This is an active denial system brings heat. Okay, what's that story?
Hi, I'm Lance Corporal Clayton Philippovich from the Corps Report, and I'm here with the gear. Now we're at Joint Base Langley, Eustis, and we're about to figure out what it takes to get toasted like a bagel. But first, let's learn a little bit more about the active denial system.
We're going to learn about the active denial
So
system.
right behind me is the ADS system, and what we're going to do is
Wait a
we're going to
second.
go on the ship and find out what really makes it bring the heat.
I'm in active denial right now. This is the American military.
So this is where the ADS system is controlled. It's very cramped, small, almost like my living quarters in the barracks. Just kidding. But for real, this is very, very cramped. So the guys in here,
Can we ask people if they're gay at this point? Is it okay to ask a person in the military if they're gay now? Do ask, do tell, kind of thing?
monitors, it's got it pinpointed all the way down to small little crosshairs, and it's really impressive. Probably the coolest thing about this little getup is the Atari-like joystick that they use to control the system. And
I think it's the price tag of $50 million, but go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I'd be qualified to operate the system because I'm pretty good at Call of Duty. So you've got the two monitors right here. You could probably play split screen. I don't know. We'll have to ask about that. It's very cramped, and I'm a little claustrophobic. So
you can actually sweep from left to right, start on one end, and you get in the direction that you want to go. It's very useful to the commander, moving people in a specific direction.
So it's a very effective weapon that has a very broad range of things they can do. At the same time, it's non-lethal. It's not going to kill you. So for the people that think, oh, I'm going to be roasted alive, as soon as you get out of the heat, your skin's fine to feel normal. And
That's correct.
I really like that about the system. Some people think that the Marine Corps is all about dropping bodies. That's just not true. In fact, the Commander of the Marine Corps, General James Amos, is the Department of Defense's executive agent for non-lethal weapons. Non-lethal weapons are the future of keeping our service members safe. They a little claustrophobic.
I'm trying to see what this does. Watch this.
Wow. Wow. So, sir,
Okay, so
operated on one person, but how does it measure up against a crowd of people?
You can use it in a crowd to move a crowd from one area to the other. That's the beauty
Check
of the
this
system.
out.
You can actually sweep from left to right, start on one end, and you can get in the direction that you want to go. It's very useful to the commander, moving.
okay, so he can move people around simply with the flip of a button. He can control groups of people. It's a jarhead trying to explain a Navy weapon system. Military brainwashes these young sheep to make them think they're fighting for freedom. Someone should tell them they're fighting for the global bankers. Guest 8181, thank you so much. The guy has a cush job. He has no idea what the real world's like. And he's approving a non-lethal weapon that can control crowds and move them around. Isn't that weird? Okay, I don't understand why you have a different. Thank you. God bless America, unwanted man. Prior to your next blackface video, will you be releasing a trailer in anticipation? Yes, Ivan. I'm currently working on my trailer, and it's right now at 30 foot with a slide out. And hopefully the trailer will be released, I would say, 2 or 3 days before the anticipated video. It'll have a plush carpeting, a veneer, wood cabinet veneer, a small bathroom, a contained toilet with septic system. And I think the trailer is going to include a large porta potty in case I start vomiting in the middle of my show. Yeah. So when you buy a trailer, you want to make sure you get a slide out now. It's wasteful to spend on any trailer unless you get a slide out. And make sure it's lubricated. Do not vomit on something that's not lubricated. David, do you think of the Northwest Front and the Southern Nationalists? I don't think anything of them, St. Patrick. I don't support any white supremacist organizations. Really cooks the skin. Is that what it does? Yeah, so it's some sort of a wave action that microwaves people so they avoid it. And guest 327 vomits during my show all the time. Well, maybe you should get one of our official ATP doggy bag / vomit bags. Would you like? I would love to be able to offer you that. Maybe if you make a donation of $10 or more, I'll send you an official ATP vomit bag. No, Sarah is just taking a nap. She's resting. He went to boot camp in Great Lakes, Division 911. Graduated in '97. Right on, buddy. Oh, you found Carl there? Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. Well, I wouldn't really expect him to be there. Okay, I think Blue is very real. He's been in our show before. He's the real deal. St. Patrick, I don't know what your deal is, but I don't believe in any sense of people gathering to separate from the country. Any secessionist movements are not my thing. Honest Frank is here because he cares about America, and he's a patriotic person, and even though his camera picture doesn't come in clean, it's worthwhile just knowing that somebody's in our chat room sharing. I think it's just a little too close. There it is. Yeah, it was just a little too close. That's why it was messed up. I got to get a straight shot on this. And I can't do it without mounting it on my... Ah, there it is. The old mounted rubber band trick. I'm going to mount it on a rubber band on my microphone so you can come in. There you go. Missed it by that much. The real problem in America is chaos. I believe I can trace it to Siegfried. All right. Yeah, see, you look a little bit better now. See? All right, so Honest Frank, what's your concern about, here's technology bringing a viewer into our show who wants to talk. What do you want to talk about, Honest Frank? What's concerning you about where we're going from here? Because I know you don't want to talk about Obama, and I don't want to turn this show into an anti-Obama slam session. I've had enough of those. What would you like to see in your country's president and where we are going? What would you like to see? Let's make something realistic here. Talk about it. Modern technology, renewable energy, low-cost energy. Maybe you can heat your apartment with less cost, your electric bill, that kind of thing. Is that good? I feel like I'm talking to a nudist in some nudist colony. Okay. He has a pedo associate? Is this true?
I just think people should be good and the whole world will turn out fine.
Everything is beautiful.
People should be like me, to be real peaceful like that.
Cool. Well, let's do it. If everyone was like Honest Frank, everything would be cool. Let's get down, get dirty, get funky.
Well, you have to be good and not corrupt, you know?
I hear you.
If you're not corrupted and you're a good person, you'll feel good. And good
Corruption is bad. I agree.
You know, so I say be good and good things will happen and you'll be happy in your life naturally.
Okay. Be good, good people, things will happen, and he'll be happy. So we have nothing to talk about.
And the bad things that happen, they expose people.
Oh, so you've been talking... You've been banned from Vaughn, and I can't even put you on the show then. I agree. Guess what? 818-184. Anyone else who wants to come into our show can do so by simply going to www.
No, you can come on. They said you could hook me on.
No, they say you've been banned because of your discussing things with children or something. What's that about? What are they saying? Why are they calling you these names?
They don't put me on. You know I'm banned. I'm gone. It's only for a week anyway.
They banned you for a week talking about kids?
No, that's not why. They said because I was talking about ODP, online dating tip. I was showing a video. Oh, good. Yeah, I was outside because the guy came over to put Barbara's radiator in. And to me, I was outside.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, and I see her.
But I don't really think the online dating tip is important to our show. Well, I'm not going to talk about him because he's not.
She should be banned.
Well, I don't think it's important that we talk about that guy. Okay.
He's a wackadoo.
We've got an American police state forming right now, and Frank calls every night.
What happens if your own government is using more force and more coercion on its own citizens for the purpose of achieving its political ends? Is that government engaging terrorism?
American people expect us to protect them and protect their civil liberties. I'm going to do that.
What is being sold to the American people today as Americanism, if you peel off the label, you find so much similarity to what we were fighting against. We were fighting communism and Nazism and fascism.
Government's not putting national ID card together.
We will be carrying our papers, and they have recommended every checkpoints throughout the country.
All right, so what are we going to do to prevent this takeover of our freedom? They want to literally RFID people now in hospitals. They want to stick chips in people's bodies. I'm against any molestation or pedophilia. You know that. All right, Dave sure knows how to kill his campaign. He might as well tattoo it. You are really outrageous here. I support the rights of African Americans, and I do not want racial profiling. I also believe that this country can do something to stop the kind of violence that's occurring in cities like Ferguson. We can address the issue of opportunity for African Americans in the cities. And we can stop the brutality by under federal funding, cutting federal funding to states and municipalities that just do not comply. If they've got a person on the force who's been brutal to people, they need to be removed with no pay, suspended until we find out what they did. I mean, that's a disgusting thing to say, and I'm going to ban you for that. We need to get some honest answers about this problem about racial disharmony in America, and I'm one of the few people in this country who's willing to talk about it. I could have a conversation myself right now and just pretend like I'm black, and I could talk to myself. So basically, why is it black people are suffering so much in the inner city? Well, that's because we don't got nothing to do, man. All we do is go into gangs. Okay, so how do we prevent you from going into gangs? Well, that's what I'm saying, man. I asked you a question. How am I going to get what I need? Well, you'll get what you need when I give it to you. Well, can you give me an Obama phone? Well, no, I can't. I give you a Sponheim phone. So why don't I have an interracial conversation with myself? I'm not afraid to talk about it. A lot of you people think political correctness is a safe haven, that you can hide your racial prejudice behind this political correct idea. And you can still think bad thoughts about people and just pretend to be politically correct, like a lot of these Southern Democrats that are calling me a racist. Talk about people calling the pot, calling the kettle marijuana, you know.
How come we can't cam up in your stream up?
I was cammed up. I was cammed up on Stream Up, man. Well, I was broadcasting live. And there I am right there. All right, let me tell you. I'll take care of it right now. All right? No. I don't trust these Java updaters. I do not trust these Java updaters. They look to me like... I'll get it up in a second. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's having a problem, frankly. I'm doing everything I can to fix it. Yeah, I don't really understand. We've been kind of glitching out on you. Sorry. Is this a big problem for you? Yeah, I don't understand it. There's Manycam. Let's go ahead and take XSplit again. Yeah, technology is one of those things that you have to get used to, and take time. Don't rush technology, and always realize you can always restart. Yeah, I can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results.
I see a picture.
You see a picture of Manycam, yeah. Darky dark, yes you did. Okay, well, why don't I just broadcast out of, I'll log out of this. Yeah, I'm not a racist, Al Jolson, please. I'm having problems with XSplit getting in here. Okay. Yeah, so somebody says, don't even have Java installed. Damn virus-infested crap, Sulan. Did you see that? So can I uninstall? This is a technology question. Yeah, this is a, yeah, I'm going to mute you for a second, Honest Frank. This is a technology question. Can I get remove Java from my computer? Let's walk everybody through this, okay? We'll bring up the backup camera. and walk everybody through the removal of Java from my computer, because I think we need to do that. We're looking at the.
So you.
I had to stop. I had to close out exploit because I'm getting a complete shutdown on